Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries run-through of Digimon World 3, as we go through the Operation Room in order to continue on with the Amaterasu replacement bosses. This is BlackWarGrowlmon. He doesn't actually have one of the Digimon pieces. I think he actually has another one of the wild Kumamon pieces. I think it's the wild suit.
So, Junior is now so familiar with the tropes of these BK prefix, but I thought, sorry, I just thought for a second we just knocked him out in one hit. That would have been amazing.
No, even if we had the literal strongest Mega level Digimon in the game, and we're level 99, we could not knock down BlackWarGrowlmon with one hit.
So this whole thing reminds me of the Teen Titans episode where Robin wanted to figure out how to fight as strong as the warrior Kataro, and then he goes through each of the 3 trials and their masters while climbing the hill to find the trainer, and then he has heard them all say the same thing so many times that he says, and in order to proceed, I must first defeat you. How did you know I was going to say that?
Lucky guess. Alright, so we have one more replacement boss in Amaterasu in order to take down. Just the one more. Those that are actually keeping score will realize that wait, you're not gonna go do the Amaterasu Elite 3 dungeons. No, we're not going to go through the Elite 3 dungeons. And we're not doing them specifically because, although they are supposed to be some of the hardest trainer fights in the game, the reward at the end of it is very specifically just an experience adapter. So, although it is actually worth grabbing if I was, hoping to 100% the game, I am never going to 100% Digimon World 3. I fucking refuse. So, no,
Wow, look at this grouch-looking Sesame Street mon.
Except he's got a rocket launcher.
This grouch has had enough of your crap. You're gonna throw bananas on my head? I'm gonna launch them back at you with my banana launcher. It was a direct hit. Take that, Speedy Mon. Speedy Monzales.
Trying to think. We do actually have a humanoid mouse Digimon in the form of Chumon. He just doesn't exist in this game.
How did I know that his name was going to contain the word Chu?
Because you know what Japanese naming conventions are like.
Yeah, that if it's a mouse, it's a Chu. I see a Chu. Let me take a Pikachu.
All right.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
So, this particular boss is a BlackKingNumemon. He is actually the
holy crap.
He is actually the hardest of the bosses that we'll be fighting, specifically because he can inflict his status ailment significantly more often than pretty much any of the other detriments that the other bosses have got access to. He's got a lot of HP and a lot of defense. Our play pattern against him is still exactly the same. It's just that he is significantly more time consuming to take down. Mostly because he can inflict you with freeze when he lands his normal attack.
So now he gets extra turns because we're frozen.
Well, he doesn't get extra. He doesn't really get extra turns. He is just skipping our extra turns.
So how many turns do we stay frozen for when this happens?
Well, there's 6.
Because so far I've seen like 6 skips.
There's 8.
Shit, we can't heal either.
Indeed.
But we could still guard strikes for some reason.
Yeah, we can still evade.
Okay, good. Now we're fine. Well, where the fuck was the message that said that we were unfrozen?
No, we're still actually frozen.
How did No, but frozen means you can't move. We just took a turn.
Uh-huh.
Oh, shit. We got froze again.
Okay, so freeze in this game is actually paralysis. It's not as detrimental as Pokemon's frozen status ailment. Very specifically, you got a relatively high chance of just skipping your turn while you're inflicted with freeze. But that's all it actually does. It just has a chance of skipping your turn. It's not guaranteed, and because thanks to the speed spiral of death, we will eventually become unfrozen.
And as Marsmon sat in battle encased in ice, he used his free right hand out of the shell of ice and raised his middle finger.
This is me forgetting that I already have Soul Charge queued up. So
okay, so this boss is trolling us.
Yeah, he can't actually kill. He can't actually kill us unless he gets effectively 14 skips in a row, and he's not going to get 14 skips in a row.
He has an impressive amount of endurance. Strike from heaven!
Okay, now Soul Charge Hammer Rush will finish him down. Except we got paralyzed.
Well, we're frozen again. Yeah, definitely not as bad as Pokemon Frozen status. Because Generation 1, if you get frozen, your Pokemon is just toast at that point.
I think that's even still the case in Generation 2. I don't think we actually get the freeze timer until Generation 3.
No, that's not true. Generation 2 put you on a 5-turn timer.
Okay.
That means that at the end of the 5th turn that you will be unfrozen.
Right.
But you could become defrosted between 2 and 5 turns. Yeah, not so funny now, is it, King Googly Eye with his stupid mustache?
It's just a normal handlebar mustache. It's not that stupid.
See, I thought he was cute until I realized he is not.
And now we have the ability to load Vacuum Cannon, which is the highest melee damage wind move in the game. Yeah, Marsmon's tech tree is actually relatively simple. He gets Brain Freeze, which will allow you to inflict paralysis on your opponents, which is quite nice. He gets Vacuum Hit, which is a high physical power a wind elemental attack, and he gets Heaven Hit, which is a high physical power lightning elemental attack. The other big thing that he gets is actually an upgrade to Soul Charge. I think it's Misoshu Kenko. I actually can't pronounce it correctly, at least not from memory. But it's an upgraded version of Soul Charge in that instead of doubling your next physical attack damage, it triples it.
Nice. I love attack multiplier coefficients.
Yeah, this room doesn't actually have any actual point in it. Supposedly, these three are supposed to be, actual Digimon World 3 staff members, as in proxies for staff members, as in people that were working on the game, not necessarily the game within the game. It becomes somewhat meta at that point because, not Silphco, but Saffron's, not Saffron, Celadon's hotel.
Celadon City, yeah.
Celadon's hotel had a Game Freak staff in it, so,
Hey, I'm the illustrator. I drew you.
And I think that particular side area has actually shown up in literally every single Pokemon game since Generation 1. Because I know it's in Gen 2, and I know it's in Alola, but Gen 7 is at the very end of the game.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder, why doesn't every video game have, a little staff room that you could visit and say, hey, thanks, I'm glad you're enjoying our game.
A lot of RPGs do, actually.
Yeah. It's nice that the staff just wants to extend a warm, friendly hand, and you can shake it if you want to.
Alright, so now that we have actually bested all of the Amaterasu replacement bosses, the big thing that we need to actually do from here is make it all the way back to... we need to make it all the way back to Asuka City, actually, because the next major plot event is going to happen at Asuka City, and, well...
Needle glove.
Yep. Thank you, Needle Glove. Although this is actually a relatively important wild encounter because it shows off that, we got the boost chip. The Numemon that are floating around Amaterasu server are all extremely high value grinding spots. So if you want to have efficient grinding methods, you want to pick out one of the Numemon spots and grind there for them. However, I would argue that those are not the most efficient grinding spots, with the most efficient grinding spot being the Lake of Ice, because not only is there Scorpiomon 2s up there that can potentially drop training ship Mark 5s, but there's also the highest level of Cardmon available as well. Off screen, we did a little bit of farming on the Numemon that is in the Amaterasu Jungle Shrine in order to get a copy of a trading book. This is supposed to make it so that the super trading that we're about to do goes easier. It fails, sadly. Like, I'm not entirely sure what the formula for the training book is supposed to be, but I know for certain that that the training book didn't help us out nearly as much going through here as it was supposed to. We spent more than half an hour on this particular training session.
Remember your subtraction tables, Kumamon.
No, please remember your subtraction tables. I don't want to be here for half an hour again.
He doesn't have enough fingers and toes.
He doesn't.
He can't count.
He only has 12 of those total.
Yeah.
Eventually, I end up just giving up on this, and we just take the 30 points instead of the 70 that we were supposed to get.
So if you put up with this crap for long enough, you can get as much as 1.3 and 1/3 repeating advantage. And so we settle for less.
There we go. 67.
Nice. And they told me that I was crazy for training only one Digimon for the entire game. I showed them.
Alright, so... I don't really have much else to actually cover from here, because although we still need to do one more super training session specifically for Dark Tolerance before the end of the game, we are gonna be setting up for end of game as of next part. So
that's it. Show's over. Bye. I kid. How could we end the game when we have so many Numemon to beat up?
No. We've already done our Numemon farming off screen. As I mentioned, I did a bunch of Numemon farming to get the training books off screen, and it just didn't help me going through this. So
punch him in the face. Break his teeth.
So what's new in the world of Cloud as we attempt to get back to Asuka City?
Oh, just making my rotation around my various games and activities. I actually had just very recently updated my Sekawar Deathkeeper commander, and I'm still proud to say, and I will shake hands on a worthy challenge and say good luck, that not only is my commander expensive, but also describes all of its abilities, other than its power and toughness, with only one sentence. So I decided that as I've come to learn about abilities that trigger other abilities based on the same event happening, that Sequoia has an ability that says that something happens when a non-token creature I control dies. So I just made it so that every single creature in my deck, with only few select exceptions, also do something when they die. So no matter what, if my creature dies, something's gonna happen.
But aren't you supposed to fuel that with Gravecrawler?
Well, I don't want creatures that just bring themselves back. Although some of my creatures do that. Because it is nice to produce some fodder so that Sequoia has something to turn into a Graveborn at some point.
Okay.
I just am trying to heed the lesson in the wisdom that usually the player who says the most during a game, because they have to describe all of their effects and their activated abilities and their triggered abilities and the resolution of the stack, and also going into detail as to how they're going to spend their stupid amount of mana, those players usually win.
Well, yeah, they have more game action. They have more game actions on board than the other players. So
you see, you can compare it to a football game, is that time of possession is a great and reliable indicator to tell you who's going to win the game, because on a normal curve, if you have possession more often than your opponent, then you're going to win. These loquacities are becoming too much even for me.
Hey, Steam on.
Do a little dance.
I would be unable to dance the Mantis dance, Mr. Cloud.
Do the Mantis. Start praying.
When you think of dance music, are there any video game tracks that immediately come to mind?
Streets of Rage series.
Ah, okay.
100% Streets of Rage series. Because every single track in those games is designed to put a little pulse in your step. Gonna step in all the streets.
I always go back to the Killer Instinct soundtrack, honestly. Way you move in the
That's a good one.
The way you move in Instinct are just really, really good tracks.
Or how about that one game we did for the channel where you're playing as a fallen angel, but you have to attack in tempo in order to get the most damage out?
There's only really one track from a Metal Hellsinger that I would really consider to play with dance intonations in mind. Anyway, in the next episode, we will make it back to Asuka City. Be safe, everybody.
Remember, music is designed for motion.
And different styles of motion.